So, do you think arrows could go through that?
Darn it!
All right, you guys, another stop on the road trip. There's Big Beastie, and we are going into the Jamestown settlement. And I have a lot of interest here because this is where my great grandpa lived, and his daughter, her name was Pocahontas. Yes, she's real. Yes, she lived. Yes, I'm her 11th great grandson. Let's go learn some more about Jamestown. So we actually really like to watch the representations, the videos, all the educational stuff, because they put a lot of money into this. And we're doing this for education reasons, so let's learn something.
Time. They would learn. Her return to Virginia. Within a year of her arrival in England, she died and was buried there at Gravesend. John Rolfe returned alone.
Okay, what's awesome is 1607, 1620, 1650, 1670. So they have this whole hallway set up in the time periods. And so this is really cool. So I just learned a lot about the racism that existed back then between the Native Americans and the Virginia Company colonists, and how they felt and what they felt about the descendants of Pocahontas, and how there had to be a full-blown treaty that they signed stating that just because they had her blood in them, they weren't cast out, because it said if you even had one drop of blood from another race, you were not white anymore. Very interesting. This has always existed. It's always been a thing. Now we're going into another theater to watch a cool something. Front and center seats? What are we watching?
We are watching the Battle of Bacon. Actually, it's Bacon's Rebellion.
What'd you think about this video we just watched?
This was crazy. I love that. That was
super cool.
awesome. Yeah.
So, you want to go see the houses for real?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Alright, so this is Evie scaring me and me scaring her, and one of their houses with the furs and all the different stuff, things that would have been tools, turtle shells. So this is what they would have lived in at the time the settlers arrived on the continent. Let's go learn some more.
Duck decoys. There you go. So they're not as good as moderns.
Alright, so now we are going to go out to some ships that I guess they had here that were recreated, so we can go and experience what that would have been like. Whoa, look at these. These are cool. Okay, Shae, your goal is to learn what the difference is between the really big one, the small one, and the medium one, and let us know what and why they're here, okay?
Yes.
Shae, what did this do?
This, my friend, I believe, sucked water from the bottom of the boat, from the bins, to have fresh water.
So they didn't have to come up 3 stories?
Okay, sleeping quarters. We've got 1, 2, and a third bunk over here.
So I heard this was for the officers, because the captain's was farther back. So this was the officers' quarters.
Cool. And then you can go to the front of the boat.
There's a BB down here.
That's more of a bonus than anything else. So they are trying to
Look at the cannons. More cannons. So look at how they could separate the quarters here for like these people. Separate quarters right here.
Excuse me, this is my room.
Yes, please pull your curtain down, madam. There's a bed. The curtains. This is great.
Darn it!
Shae lost. Let's go, Mom.
It's gonna be a rampage. Let's go.
All right, Captain. Wow.
30 minutes
Again,
speaking.
there's the rudder. Right, no steering wheel. This is how you steer. Officers' quarters again. And then this is the captain's. That is severely smaller than the Mayflower captain's quarters, right?
Yeah.
So much smaller. But everybody else was just crammed below deck and had to stay there for 144 days.
I would rather be near.
Okay, these 3 ships still sail every year. Now, before 2020, they were sailing. The big one, the Susan, goes on at least 1 voyage a year.
Really?
The smallest one, the Discovery, goes on about 2 or 3 a year. And the farthest one, the Godspeed, goes on about 5 to 7 sailing voyages a year. I don't know how far they go, but
wanna go on
isn't that cool?
one.
There's still active boats that they take out. So I thought that was really awesome.
Who wants to go to the fort now? Go see like cannons and artillery and all that stuff.
Only if I get to shoot a cannon.
Deal.
Oh,
The settlers, in what year, built this fort?
1607.
07. So look, they had some farm stuff out here. Then look, see what they had to have to get their muskets through in case there was an invasion?
That's a good one.
All right, there's the armor. Whoa, look at that pike. Bedding. Rykel, what do we have here?
We have their dining eating area.
This looks nicer than Plymouth, yeah?
Yeah, this does.
So Plymouth, it looked, but these are all recreations, so we don't really know. But Plymouth actually was a lot dirtier. Oh, the muskets and the pikes and everything that are holed up right there. The armor, the big old tall chimney. So if you haven't seen our tour through Plymouth, definitely go and see that because Wyatt and I and Shae were enlisted in the militia. We were humiliated while trying to be awesome. Okay, let's go see what this big town hall is. Look at all the reeds.
Whoa.
So many.
I'm
Right?
amazed. We're gonna have some rum today.
Oh, look at the leaves here, brewing up a tea. Oh, tobacco leaves. So what's different about Plymouth and here, the people who came here were sent here. They were basically employees for the Virginia Company. They were supposed to set up the fort, establish trade, and then find trade routes to bring wealth back to the fort to send back to England. And so what's interesting is they would take the tools out for the day, but they have records showing that they had to return them at the end of the day. If you didn't work, you didn't get paid. They didn't have money, but it was paid in rations and paid things that were here in the storehouse. So they'd take out their tools for the day, and then they'd come back and they'd get their pay. That's the system, and somebody just shot off a rifle. Let's go find what that is.
How many of you would choose the bow as your weapon of choice? And although that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy because I agree with you, the colonists come to prefer their muskets because you can turn a baker, a man off the street, a farmer, or whoever into a fairly decent group soldier in short order. But there is still debate about this in the 1600s.
So, he unleashed, we should go back and count, something like 5 to 8 arrows in the time that guy got off 2 shots.
Right? Like, that was quite amazing.
And he hit his target. So,
Yeah.
would you have rather had the bow or the musket?
I think I'd go for a bow.
Bow or musket?
I don't know. I never shot a bow. A musket, probably.
Musket for Wyatt?
I think I like the bow. If I could be skilled, I would do the bow.
Yeah. I actually love my little Boy Scout days. So this is an officer's home. So the higher ups of the Virginia company would come here. So there'd be nicer things here. There upstairs is the sleeping quarters. So in the winter it's warmer up there because of some of the exhaust from the chimney. They've done such a great job putting all this back together. It's so cool. So gentlemen and like nobles, if they came out, they'd be in these multi-story houses. Big old pikes in here. So, do you think arrows could go through that?
No.
Probably not, but could you move quick enough to get out of their way? It's very interesting looking at this and thinking about things the way they had to with survival as their #1 goal.